Well, good morning for me. I'll post this in the afternoon, and who knows when you're going to read it, watch it. Can you tell my mind's on books? Let me think. So today's video is going to be kind of a mishmash of a writing vlog and me working on my map for Project Gold. If you saw my last video, I think it was my last video. I was working on that map. So the map from my first book, let me pull it up. Yes, I do just have my book randomly sitting on my desk. The map from my first book, I was pretty happy with the artist, but there's a couple inaccuracies on the map. So, like, the lake that's shaped like a bird is one of them, and then there's a place that the map was made based off of my outline instead of based off of my writing. So two places that were kind of far apart got close together when I was writing. So I will be fixing that for book 2. And the map in book 1, I kind of explained it away to myself, and I'll put a note in book 2 that is a map that the main character had in her hand in that book. So it doesn't have to be accurate, it's just an in-world map. So yeah, I'm working on a more accurate map, and I'm actually having a really good time with it. I did not realize how much time goes into that kind of thing, that it takes a lot of time. So props to all the artists who are doing that. Yeah, but I will have some footage of me working on the map in here. If you saw part 1, I basically went in and traced the original map, which I'm not using the tracing, even though it is my IP, because it's my world building. I don't want to use the exact lines the original artist used, even though he was okay with that kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is, well, what I've already done. I went in and kind of redrew the edges in my own style. I did change some of the coast a little bit. I changed a couple of islands a lot. But just like minor adjustments, the kind of thing most people probably won't even notice. But it is drawn more in my style and less in his. He does this thing where he likes to like wiggle the edge, which makes it look really realistic, but it's definitely it's definitely more of a him thing than my IP thing. So I went in and kind of changed that up. And then I redrew the lake. I put all my locations in place. I did my rivers and my roads. And now all that's really left, I have kind of outlined my biomes in different colors, which the final map is not going to be colored. But I'm using that as a guide for myself so that I can go in and put, mountains and forests and such things into place. Kind of figure out how I want to draw those things, which probably won't be the same as the way my artist drew them. The other good news, which I think I said in the last video, my artist for the map from book 1 is doing a full color version that will be available for newsletter subscribers. It's going to be a while because he's going to do it based on my new map so that it's like the most accurate. But hopefully it'll be ready by the time book 2 comes out. But we'll see. That's my hope. I'm not going to put too much pressure on him because he's a busy guy, and maps take a long time to draw, especially the way he does it, where he's very particular. Yeah. So, I mean, probably most artists they'll do like 8 versions of something, and you know what I mean. Besides my map, I am working on my so I finished the first draft of Project Gold a couple weeks ago. Actually, I have a note on what day it was. On August 8th. So it's been longer than I thought, actually. August 8th would put it 2.5 weeks ago. So my original plan was to let it sit for 1 week, and then I got really sick with just a nasty head cold. It's not a big deal, but I didn't feel like doing that. So I just kind of did mindless work, and I let it sit for an extra week. And then I procrastinated a little bit because while it was sitting, I started to be afraid that I'm going to hate every word I wrote, which sounds crazy if you're not a writer or artist of some kind. But I feel like every writer has been there where either they're afraid of that or not every writer, most writers. There's always exceptions. But where either you're afraid of it or it actually happens. I've had it actually happen before. I rewrote a whole draft because I hated it. But that's beside the point. I read chapter 1 last night, and I am very happy with it. Like, obviously there's things to improve. It's a first draft. There's always things to improve. There are things I can make stronger, but for a first draft, I feel like it was a good chapter 1. There's a lot of things I want to tweak about it, but I am just going to push through and read that draft. So my editing plan, I think I had mentioned in a previous video. Basically, I'm going to do the initial read through to experience the book as a book. Since it took me so long to draft, I just feel like I don't have a good grasp on kind of how it reads, which is a little bit terrifying, but that's okay. And then it's good practice to do a basic read through anyway, but it's especially important because it took me so long to draft, more than a year. So after that, I will do a second read through where I leave comments behind, and I have a system where I kind of color code my comments, and it goes from high level stuff to lower level stuff. So I start with red, which is like storytelling and structural issues. So this is stuff like I need to move a whole scene, or what if I change this mystery plot line to be a little more mysterious, or give more hints, or maybe I should foreshadow here or something. And then I have orange for plot issues, which I think of as more like I found a plot hole I need to fix, or that kind of thing. Really, those two could probably be combined, but they're different enough to me that I like to do 2 separate passes. Yellow is a consistency error. This is the kind of thing where, like, character A had green eyes, and then all of a sudden, 2/3 through the book, they're brown. So that's the kind of thing where I just go in and fix it real quick. Green is line or style. That doesn't actually come next. I'm not sure why I'm listing that next. Blue is character notes. So this is stuff like, I want more emotional depth in this scene for this character, or this is a good place to reveal this bit of backstory, or what have you. Or sometimes it's like character dynamics, like I wanted more tension between these 2 characters, or I need to demonstrate that these guys are friends instead of just telling you, that kind of thing. Purple is setting notes, which I tend to be very, how do I say this? I'm prone to white room syndrome. So if you're not familiar with white room syndrome, that is where you basically write as if the characters were in a white room. You don't describe stuff. And it can be a little painful for the reader. It can kind of leave them feeling disoriented while reading. Yeah. So I don't think that my final drafts have a white room issue. I'm actually fairly certain they don't. I think some people would prefer I describe less. But I like slower pacing, so I like to describe things. I like to read books with more description. I was trained on the Lord of the Rings. Anyway, yeah, so I like to go through and kind of fix that. There are exceptions where I will leave a mostly white room. I will describe it at the beginning and maybe some at the end, but I want a conversation to feel more fast-paced, and I will leave less description within it, and that can be really fun when used sparingly. Yeah, so that is kind of my purple notes. I will either note that I need more description, or I will note that, hey, this thing is a trend in this setting. I'd like to show it more, or like kind of more world building in a particular area. So I find that really helpful for myself. And then the final color is green, which is like line level stuff. So that's like basically line edits. So I want to have the right words. I want to have good grammar, all that stuff. I don't go as far as copy edits when I'm doing this, but I do like to go top down. So I will do red, orange, yellow, blue, purple, green, and then a final pass to just make sure it all reads consistently and the tone's not gone wonky from my changes. Yeah, and then I will pass it off to beta readers. Sorry for all this clicking. Yeah, so that is my plan. I have a while to get there. It's my hope to finish and have like this draft in beta reader hands in the next 5 weeks at the latest. I would prefer 3 to 4 weeks, but we will see. So if I can give it to my beta reader and have a really fast, I have a really fast beta reader, and then a couple others who are usually pretty fast, and a couple people that I have more beta readers this time than I did for book 1, so I'm really excited about that. But yeah, I will be passing it off to them when I can, and then hopefully I'll be able to act on their feedback by the end of October, and then work on copy edits and formatting in November, and then get it to you before Thanksgiving. That's my hope. It's a tight timeline. Goodness, it's a tight timeline. But that's my hope. I would like to have it out before Thanksgiving. It will definitely be out before the end of the year. So, yeah. I'm talking a lot. By the way, this is a homemade dirty chai. I am super happy about it. I gave up coffee a couple years ago, but every once in a while I will kind of indulge in getting myself some decaf, which, if you're a coffee drinker, I know, gross. But if you're not drinking coffee, it's kind of good sometimes. I have a French press that makes it not as bad. Anyway, this morning I was like, I want tea. No, I want coffee. And then I was like, wait a minute. Dirty tea is a thing, isn't it? And I looked it up, and it's like supposed to be chai tea with a shot of espresso, but I don't have espresso. So I put a tea bag in my French press. Shh, don't tell anyone. So of course I'm telling you. Anyway, it's delicious, and I'm very happy about it. I'm a happy camper this morning. Yeah. So now that I've talked your ears off, I'm going to put in some footage of me working on my map. And then I will probably update you with how far I get with my read and with... did I even say I read chapter 1 last night? Yeah, and I did say. Anyway, yeah, I will update you. This won't be the only clip I film, but yeah. Hello again. So after the map work that you just saw, I actually have been doing more of it, but I didn't film it. I'm trying to figure out how to draw different biomes because I don't want to just copy my artist. Um, and I do think I'm going to do my forest a little different. There's like one version where you draw all the individual trees. I think I'm just going to kind of like draw the shape of a forest and kind of include little indicators. Um, so that'll look a little different. And then I'm trying to figure out how to do my mountains. I went in and I started to do ones where like half of the mountain was just shaded black, and I just really didn't like it. So I might try some other form of shading. We'll see. Um, yeah, but that's where that is. Sorry, my throat is kind of sounding scratchier throughout the day. Um, I'm still somewhat sick, and it's been a long day, even though it's only not even 4 o'clock. Yeah, but that's where I'm leaving off, and then I will keep working on my read through of Project Gold, and then um, yeah, hopefully I'll get to the actual comment run this week. It's only, what's today? Today's only Tuesday. Oh my goodness. It feels like Wednesday or Thursday, honestly. Um, yeah. But thank you for watching this far. I hope to see you next time. And if you've done any like map drawing, if you've done any map drawing for your books or your writing, or even just for like a D&D campaign or something, I would love to hear about it in the comments. So just let me know, and then I will see you next time.